Well, I'm Officer Coffee.
Hi, Patrick Robinson.
So you had heard you're here to report an incident.
Yeah, I am. The thing is, like, this is gonna sound a little crazy.
Sure, go right ahead.
So I believe the Men in Black. I'm not too sure if you're familiar with them.
Um, like from the movies, The Men in Black.
No. Well, the Men in Black are based on the movies, but pretty much they're believed to be aliens who work for the government. That.
So what do you have to report, sir?
Okay, I'll start from the beginning.
Sure.
So about 3 weeks ago, um, outside my house, I see these four blue lights in the sky,
Mhm.
and I take out my camera and I take a picture of the lights, and I go in and I try to develop the photos. I develop them and I release them to the newspaper. I don't know if you've heard about the story, but it's been all over the news.
Mhm. I have not. But continue.
So I release these photos, which I believe to be UFOs, and then about a couple days later, three men in black suits came to my door.
Do you know what any of these men looked like?
Well, they were tall, skinny, black suits, just like the ones in the movies. They they had really no facial expressions on their face. They were really white. They just didn't look normal.
Mhm.
So these men came to my door and they asked for an interview. So, like, because of all the media attention I've been having, I thought this was normal. So I said, yeah, come on in, I'll do an interview. One of them was interviewing me for about 30 minutes, saying some pretty weird stuff. It was, I don't know, it wasn't normal interview circumstances. So I was kind of weirded out about that. But
What were some of the questions he asked?
he was just asking a lot of questions about the photographs, where it was.
And you believe that these photographs were of UFOs carrying aliens?
Yes, yes, I do. So they're interviewing me, and one of the men is taking photos of my house. And I'm like, all right, this is probably just for the interview. And then they tell me after the interview that they will send the paper and the article to me. And so I wait a couple of days, I don't hear back. So I ring up the newspaper.
Which newspaper? The
Uh,
local one?
yeah, the local one.
Mhm.
So I ring up the local newspaper, and then they tell me that they didn't send any of these men to my house.
Really?
Yeah, and they said that there's no article about any UFOs or alien sightings or any of that. So
Mhm.
I was a little weirded out about that, but that wasn't the one that got me like freaked out. And so like a week later,
Mhm.
I go out to the same spot and I see the lights again.
Same men?
Yeah, well, they weren't out there, but I saw a truck out there.
Mhm.
I don't know if it was them, but I didn't see the men in the suits. So I took the photograph and I went back to my house to develop it. And then that same truck pulls up at my house. And I'm looking out the window and I thought I saw these men like in their suits. So I'm pretty freaked out, but I just ignore it. I go to sleep. I go to work next day, and then I come back to my house and everything's taken. All my photographs, all my work I've been doing, everything's taken. The place is trashed.
And you were investigating on the possibility of UFOs in the area?
Yes,
Aliens?
yes, I
And you
was.
believe they took all of that?
Yeah, I believe so.
Why do you think they would do that?
Well, I was getting these strange phone calls from him. Well, I believe it was from him saying, like you shouldn't be dealing with this type of work. Like this is like there was these men that called me and they said that they were from the government, working for the government, and that
Really?
that I should stay out of all this and it's none of my business. So I was getting some pretty creepy phone calls. Some of them they just didn't say anything, but I could tell there was someone else on the other line. So they broke in and they took all my stuff, and then I go to work the next day. I come back and there's a man in a black suit in my house, and he tells me that the choices I make are gonna ultimately, well, they pretty much said that if I keep taking these photos and keep investigating this, that something bad is going to happen to me.
And have you ever seen these men in your life before?
No, I haven't.
No.
I don't know, man. It was weird. So,
Have you seen them since?
no, I haven't. But that's because I believe it's because I stopped taking the photos. I stopped reporting about it. I told the newspaper to drop the article, and I haven't seen him for days. But I don't know. It's just something's not right about this, and I feel like I had to report it because these men, you know, I rarely think that there's UFOs out there and that what I was taking photos of were UFOs. And these men, I don't know if they work for the government, but I think they were sent there to kind of cover it all up and make sure it doesn't get out.
Well, thank you for sharing your story.
No problem. Thank you
We'll
for
do
your
the
time.
best we can, try to